Ahoy! And welcome to the Boating Hour with Captain Rick. The Boating Hour brings you the latest and greatest essential information about everything that sails, floats, or motors upon the high seas of Southern California. From landlubbers to old salts, there'll be something for everyone. So climb aboard and get ready to sail with Captain Rick.
Ahoy out there and welcome to the Boating Hour. I'm Captain Rick and I want to thank you for joining us here on AM 870. We're here every Saturday at 4 p.m. and please be sure to visit us on the web at theboatinghour.com and now on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, The Boating Hour with Captain Rick. Thanks to our sponsors for our show today. For a healthy gut, the best probiotic on the market, Livia One Probiotics, natural, organic, and allergen-free. And now on our website, Livia One Probiotics. Just go to the Boating Hour with Captain Rick, click right on their button, Probiotics, the best probiotics on the market, and Raycom Radios, reliable two-way radio communications throughout Southern California. And to the marine industry near you, Raycom is coming. We're going to do all kinds of interviews. We're going to go live. We're going to be in the yacht clubs. We're going to be sponsoring some ham radio, introduction to ham radio, and we're going to have some book authors that we're going to have some book signings. So that's what's coming up with Raycom Radios at one of the yacht clubs near you throughout Southern California. Today, I've got something real exciting. First of all, we had last week Dave Ross from the Holiday Boat Parade in Marina del Rey, which is going on today. If you're listening, make it down to Marina del Rey. If you want to watch, you can get to Burton Chase Park or one of the yacht clubs. If you know someone, it's going to be real exciting. So that's going on starting about now. But today, Captain Rick wants to introduce our guest, who is none other than Captain Rick. So Captain Rick is introducing and welcoming Captain Rick. Thanks for joining me on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me today.
Well, you're a real captain. I want to start out by introducing you. You're a serial entrepreneur. You're in the real estate business. You're going to be buying a charter boat, and you got all kinds of glorious plans coming up. But how are you, Captain Rick? How did you get to be a captain? Tell me the story of how you started out in boating, and then we'll plug the business. Well, actually, let's plug the business first. What is your business?
Well, yes, I am a realtor, and I have Keller Williams Realty is my brand, and we're in California and Hawaii with most of my offices in Northern California. And I have a lot of the ancillary businesses around it and things. So, yes, as a serial entrepreneur, I'm kind of in and out of all different types of businesses. And what I did was when COVID hit, I actually looked at when I retire, I want to do this and this and this. So my bucket list of items I wanted to accomplish. And one of those was to get my pilot's license and or my boater's license or both. And so the reality is I took the opportunity of COVID when the world kind of shut down to say, you know what better time than to do something like that and why wait? And the first person to call me back was Yacht for Fun, and that started me on this journey to be a captain.
That's exciting. So Yachts for Fun. So you got your captain's license through them?
Yes, I did. And, so it was a great experience because I was able to get out on the water, be safe, and yet do the classes and do all the coursework that was needed to get licensed up to 100-ton vessels. And so I'm very much into power boats and the goal of chartering, and I've had boats for 15 years. I still have a boat currently. And, so our retirement plan is I don't see myself ever stopping work completely, but doing something I really love, which is being on the water and boating and incorporating that into the ability to get kind of a European citizenship visa through the process of making a business over there and employing more than 5 people will allow me to be able to do that. So that is kind of the plan moving forward to have a charter service out of southern Portugal.
How does that work? So you get are you part of the EU if you invest in a business? Explain that on being would you be a dual citizen of another country, or do you get a European passport? Explain that.
Yeah, I'd be able to reside, and I don't know. I don't want to I don't know the full technical side of it. Like our attorneys are going to work on that, but really, if I'm running and owning a business over there, it allows me to have citizenship that would allow me access through the EU, which would be my goal. I was actually born in Germany, so and spent a lot of time in Europe. So to be over there and to be able to spend a decent amount of our time in Europe and still reside and still have a place in California makes a lot of sense for us.
So where are you planning on going? Have you picked out any locations where you want to? Have you picked out the type of boat you want? Are you already in the negotiations, or is that something that's coming up? And then where have you decided you want to start out?
There's a few really amazing opportunities and places in southern Portugal. So we haven't landed on a place. We're going to be over there. We have a few trips planned in 2025. With the intention of going over there and really looking more seriously at location more so than vessel. So vessel will come later on. I anticipate that we would probably have something that's between maybe 120 to 140 foot vessel. Again, I would have to increase my certifications, do a lot of practice. There's still a long road in front of me to be able to, and I would hire a full-time captain to begin with as well, and I would just be kind of co-captain. Again, my goal is to make this kind of fun a little bit as well as work, right? So I would still feel more comfortable with a solid tenured captain leading and myself to co-captain as needed.
Well, if you have a need for a guest captain, I'll come over as a guest. That would be so exciting. Boy, that's such a change from, I guess, boating. You're out of what, Marina del Rey?
I live in Santa Monica, and our boat is actually is up in New York in the Finger Lakes. So we keep a boat up there. Yeah.
Oh, so you got a boat on the East Coast. Okay, is the East Coast? Yeah, is that still part of the union? They considered part of a, I never get over there. Actually, my folks are all from the East Coast and a lot of family, but and I got a lot of friends that have moved out of California, but they've gone to the Midwest and all kinds of other places. But I'm out of Marina del Rey and in King Harbor, where I kind of grew up. So are you a fisherman or just power boater?
Really just a power boarder. And the boat that we currently have is really just, an activities boat. It's really a sport boat for tubing and wakeboarding and things like that. So it's really, it's a very different kind of vessel that we have. And, again, what I'm really looking to do to have something that I can live aboard here and there and travel and really see the world, in luxury and yet be able to subsidize the cost of that, because it's obviously very expensive to maintain and keep a staff and just all the costs associated. So this allows me to cover a lot of that as part of the process.
Well, I got an idea for you. Why don't you compete with Oracle, join one of the local clubs, and have a Keller Williams boat, have a nice big sail, and compete with Oracle? I think he put $100 million into Oracle, and he joined a small club. So a very small club in the Bay Area up there in Northern California, and rebuilt the club. And but I think he put $100 million into competing Oracle in the last. Do you follow the America's Cup?
Well, it's interesting. I was just up in the Bay Area and saw literally the boat sitting. It's right on their campus right there at Oracle.
Oh, no kidding!
And you see it's propped up. It's on the land. It's kind of like it's sitting right out there on display. It's pretty amazing to see. It's an amazing boat. That's for sure.
Well,
I'd
like to see that, but from what I understand, this sail is more like an airplane wing. So I'm not sure it even rolls up, but I would like to see the operation of how the crew when they first take it out. Of course, it's a lot like flying, because they're up in the air on the foils. It's a whole new operation, that kind of boating. But boy, I tell you, so you don't like my idea of a Keller Williams sailboat right here in the Marina del Rey?
I would never call myself a sailor because I'm not good at it, and I respect those that really sail, and it's amazing. I will tell you, when I saw the Oracle, the mast on that, I saw it from over a building. It looked like a crane, so that tells you the height of the mast on that ship. It's pretty amazing. But man, those things go very, very fast.
Yeah, a little too fast.
It's
for
amazing.
Me. They have some of the best sailors in the world. We used to joke when I would watch some of the America's Cup, because they're all professional sailors, and we would say the Kiwis are racing the Kiwis again. they're all from They're all from New Zealand, or there's a few Australians, a couple Englishmen, but very, very interesting. A little different from the days of Dennis Conner when he had the monohull boats. And I have a Gary Mall, who's a naval architect right out of Marina Del Rey, and he built Ted Turner's boat and called it the Rangers. I think he owned the Rangers. I think he owned the Texas Rangers at the time. So he called it Rangers, and they came out with the Ranger yachts in the late 60s and early 70s, and the Ranger yachts are still considered one of the iconic boats. And, of course, they have smaller boats at 23, they 26, 33, smaller boats, monohull. Entirely different from what's going on. Well, right now what's going on is the Marina Del Rey Boat Parade. Make it down there if you're near Marina Del Rey or you want to see some exciting stuff. If you're just joining us now, you're listening to Boating Hour. I'm Captain Rick. I'm here every Saturday at 4 p.m. Please be sure to visit us on the web at theboatinghour.com. And thanks to our sponsors, Livia One Probiotic, natural, organic, and allergen-free, and Raycom radios. Today, I have my guest, Captain Rick. So Captain Rick is interviewing Captain Rick. So let me ask you something. So are you going to retire and move, or are you going to keep your businesses going? I mean, it's an exciting thing when you have an entrepreneur like yourself and you have people working for you. When you leave, you take a lot with you. I hope you never retire because you're doing so much, locally here. So are you going to retire entirely, or are you just going to slowly, like, semi-retire?
Well, luckily I'm blessed with fantastic people that really run a lot of the day-to-day operations. Most of the business will just stay intact.
That's
good. And there's a few of the companies, prop tech business and some others, that will likely be sold much sooner than the real estate and things. So I see continuity in the business. And again, I can't even imagine retiring because I enjoy what I do so much. And I feel like I would want to continue that, until they want to kick me out. But the reality is I really love what I do.
Well, and you sound like a youngster, so it's you're too young. And of course, our mutual friend Zane Wild's group, who's my very good friend out of Marina Del Rey. We've had some of his people. We've had a lovely young lady that was that races in Marina Del Rey. She was on. I should get her back. So you got a couple racers out of that group there in Marina Del Rey. So that's exciting to get people that race. Of course, it's they race at the Wednesday night series is run by Cal Yacht Club that burned down. Do you know what's going on with Cal Yacht Club? Are they going to disappear? Is the county going to take over the building, or are they going to rebuild? Do you have any idea?
I hope they rebuild. I will tell you that the Coastal Commission and the county recs and all the governing bodies as it relates to building and things like that, it would take a lot of time to rebuild. So I don't know what the plan is. I haven't seen any articles about it. That there's certainly not, to my knowledge, any new applications been filed. But yeah, that was sad to see the yacht club burn. We actually held some of my holiday parties at that yacht club over the years. Again, we have a Marina Del Rey location. We have Santa Monica, so we have pretty local businesses, and I've always loved the marina. So that has been one of our venues that we've taken our employees to.
Well, it's definitely a place that all of us have been there. They had a wonderful swimming program, a youth program. I know they hosted the Sea Scouts there. They hosted SCYA. Had one of their big women's events there. A lot of functions went on at Cal Yacht Club. The iconic the Hathaway family, who I guess they've been here in this neighborhood for 100 years. So it's really a shame if they're not going to rebuild. And we got nothing but time. I really hope they rebuild that. It's such an important club with all the activities that they did. So yeah, I would like to see that rebuilt. And I went there quite a bit. I did the Wednesday nights that Cal Yacht Club started the Wednesday night series when the marina was built. So I think that I've had some people there on my show. I think it was 1965 that they started the Wednesday nights. So that's really exciting. And, of course, they had a lot to do with the, after parties from a lot of the regattas. I know that they hosted a few times the after party for the boat, for the holiday parade, which used to be, of course, the Christmas boat parade. So that's going on right now. Look who's wandered in today, Dennis. So we've got a guest for next week. Dennis, your show is next week. Why don't you sit down and join us? I've got Captain Rick, a real Captain Rick, a 100-ton captain, as my guest right now. And your show is next week. You're from Cabrillo Beach Yacht Club. Captain Rick, meet Dennis. Are you mic'd up?
Am I on? Yep.
Oh, you're on. Have
okay.
A seat.
Hi, Rick. Captain Rick. Yeah, I'm Dennis from Cabrillo Beach Yacht Club here. I thought I'd come in and talk about some things that are going on down at L.A. Harbor, Cabrillo Beach. Some exciting things coming up all year long in 2025. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. And
you got to come back next week too, because we're going to have a whole show dedicated to you, Cabrillo Beach Yacht Club, the youth activities. So you're in a little bit early. So Captain Rick, Dennis from Cabrillo Beach. The Cabrillo Beach has been there about 100 years, and Los Angeles Yacht Club 130 years. So yacht clubs go back a long ways. But boaters like yourself is those are the boats that we all look at and love to watch. So we got to get your 100-foot boat in Marina Del Rey. Any chance that you're going to have something like that here, run a charter company here, or is it just all in Europe?
Well, the thought is to, something that would be seaworthy to bring it around. So at different times, I might bring it to other parts of the world, including coming back to Los Angeles occasionally, especially in the winter months when we wouldn't really use it as much. So yeah, of course, that would be, I would love to have it back here. This is such a great location, great marina. We have great weather year round. I love taking boats out. We like to entertain a lot and take boats out, take small groups out, enjoy the water. It's really, there's not much like it. And to have that accessible to us right here in Los Angeles in such a big city is unique and really exciting.
Well, we have year-round sailing, year-round boating. And I'll tell you, there's a big difference between going on one of the huge, 900 to 1,200, 1,000-foot cruise boats. They're like little cities, and they're not as fun as going on a, what I'll call a smaller cruise, because it's a little more intimate. People have more fun. You get to know the crew, and that's a lot. I hear people that go on the type of cruises that you're going to be doing, and they have a lot of fun, a lot better than the giant cities. It's like being on a battleship. It's a couple thousand. I don't know how many people get on one of those cruises. So yeah, yours would be a lot more exciting. I really do hope you make it down here. Like I said, if you ever need a guest captain, I'm available to scrub the side of the hull as a guest captain. I once saw the Carlos Sims's boat in Marina Del Rey, and he had a helicopter on it, and I was in my Cal 20. And I was with some friends, and I rolled up to this boat, and I did my tack. I got real close to them. They were cleaning it. They were all in uniform. Those boats are spectacular. And I rolled right up with my friends that were visiting, and I yelled up, and I said, "Tell Mom and Dad I'm not coming for breakfast this morning." And the guy got a big kick out of it because, of course, when they're working, the crew's working, they get a lot of people that wave at them. And my friend had his his girlfriend's friend, and she was from the Midwest, and she bought it hook, line, and sinker. She said, "Oh my goodness, is that your boat?" I was in a 20-foot, $300 Cal 20 that I really enjoyed. I'm a sailor. I love sailing. It's a lot of fun being out in the wind. The smaller the boat, the better chance you are to touch the dolphins and stuff. But it's on your boat. I'm sure as you cruise along, I'm not really sure about the European waters. I don't know much about the Atlantic, but I'm sure you'll see some whales along the way. But when you're in a little sailboat, it's a lot of fun. The dolphins will come right up to you. That's one of my favorite parts. So what's the chances of getting you into sailing, Rick?
Well, I love it. Like, I could see myself sailing. I would see myself on a smaller sailboat with just a couple people and on something bigger. But I like the ability to have both, and it's just like I do with the boat that we have that's small. I love to have different boats appeal to different activities, and therefore, just one, is not as good as having two or three options, right?
Yeah,
I love the ability to wakeboard and things like that, things you wouldn't be able to do on a larger craft.
Yeah, but you could bring those along with you. Do you have family and friends? Did you grow up with boats? And so your family, are they boaters? They like getting out there in the water?
Yeah, we have through time. So everything from sailing, small sailboats, 15, 20 foot, and power boats, just speed boats really for, again, water skiing, wakeboarding, tubing. That's what we grew up on, is the Finger Lakes and, the St. Lawrence Channel, things like that is where where I learned my passion for the water.
Wow, that is exciting. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. By the way, I'd like to sponsor a Keller Williams party. Get your crew out there, maybe the Santa Monica Windjammers Yacht Club or even Delray Yacht Club. Bring them out, and I'll host a Keller Williams dinner party and get everybody out there and show my appreciation for you coming on the show. And Zane's gotten me a few, your man Zane over there has gotten me a couple guests that are actually actively involved in the racing and cruising. So that's an open invitation for you to be my guest at the clubs. But I'd like to host something and get your crew out there to meet everybody and do something nice for you guys.
Well, we appreciate it. Our people would love that. And thank you for having me on the show today.
That is exciting, because I tell you, a 100-ton charter captain, that's really an accomplishment. And it looks like you made COVID to use. A lot of people, slept through it for 3 years. I think some of the kids in school did, but that's great that you were productive during that time. I had planned on being productive. I started the radio show during that time, but the world was locked down. So my love to the Keller Williams family. And what's the website?
KWAdvisorsCA.com. KWAdvisorsCA.com.
For California, KW Advisors.
Yep, those are our California offices.
Oh, yep. Awesome. Okay, and I'll plug them in the future. And then Dennis was with me. You're coming back next week. We're going to talk about Cabrillo Beach Yacht Club, and what else are we going to talk about?
Let me just say, in the holiday spirit, I wanted to give you a little gift here, a holiday gift for you.
Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, this is your books. My key fits every door.
Yes. During COVID, had not much else to do, so I went ahead and wrote a book.
This is exciting. All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for you today, and I hope you enjoyed our show. I want to thank our guests, Captain Rick, a real Captain Rick, on the show. Thanks for joining us. We're always so very fortunate to have such wonderful and exciting guests. And let's not forget the Coasties, protecting our waters, America's lifesavers and guardians of the sea. Here at the Boating Hour with Captain Rick, we cover everything that sails, motors, and floats from San Diego to Santa Barbara. Thanks for being with us today. Please be sure to join us next week and every Saturday at 4 p.m. on AM 870. Next week, Dennis Dreyer, we're going to talk all about San Pedro and Long Beach and Cabrillo Beach Yacht Club and the youth program, the Olympics coming up. That'll be pretty exciting. Thanks to our sponsors for the show today. For a healthy gut, Livia One Probiotics and Raycom Radios, reliable two-way radios throughout Southern California without drop and dead zones and all the inherent limitations of all other communication systems. We'll be talking a lot about the programs that we're going to be doing at the yacht clubs throughout the year. So coming up next week, we're going to have Dennis talking about Cabrillo Beach, the youth program, the Olympics, San Pedro, and the Long Beach area. Happy holidays to everybody. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Christmas and New Year's is coming up. And today, the boat parade, the holiday parade in Marina del Rey. This is Captain Rick saying ahoy and fair winds to all.